How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Ace Attorney Duel Destinies. Sorry about the last time. Usually I do a preview of episode 5 at the end of episode 4, and I didn't do that last time. I don't think I've been doing that for this entire game. But maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. I guess we're going to see here pretty soon. Turnabout for tomorrow. Let me actually get the right window open here so I can actually see what I'm doing. No one can escape their past. The way I said past there. Uh-oh. Blood. Oh no. Oh no. We're gonna find out. This is really dark, actually. This is like some serious Dexter crap going on here. There's a sword. The sins we've committed. And the sadness we've caused. That's Blackwell. He looks like he killed somebody. Or he just sliced through a really big tomato. No matter how far we run, our past remains. As ever-present as the moon in the sky. And if we're lucky, it won't come crashing down on us. Apollo Justice. What is your story, man? You're just gonna come Super Saiyaning out of those mummy wraps? Look at the sky. Maybe your answers are there. That looked like a planet reflecting in his eye, not the moon. It's like all blue and shit. Does that mean there's water? Is there water on the moon? Maybe. It looms in wait for the day when we must face it, I think is what that said. I couldn't read it fast enough. But only in doing so can we truly make peace and move on in hope towards tomorrow. But till then, you're stuck. December 20th. Wow, picking right up where we left off here, aren't we? So Mr. Starbuck is innocent. Yay! They took Athena from the courtroom. Straight to the station. Damn it. She's probably being questioned at this very moment. How could her fingerprints have been on the lighter? Oh, and we were so happy once. Now, everything sucks! Everything sucks, y'all. After this past year, I took it for granted that those two would always be here. But now, Apollo has gone off on his own to seek his own truth. And my pursuit of happiness only ended up with crap! With Athena being the new suspect. Some boss I turned out to be. Talk him out of it, Trucy, if you can. You're probably sad too, though. It's even quieter in here than usual. Yeah. It seems so empty, too. I don't get it. Oh my god, that's what... I seriously did not know she was going to say that. I only said it because Solomon said it after... Because it seemed like a really weird thing for a defendant to say. Anyway. I don't get it, Daddy. All of your reasoning during the trial seemed perfectly solid. Yeah, and I still believe it was. At least based on what we know. But now Athena is the one who's being accused. During the trial for the bombing and murder that occurred at the Cosmos Space Center. The lighter used by the real culprit was found. This lighter proved the defendant Solomon Starbuck innocent. So he'd go back to watching Ace Ventura all day again. But Athena's prints were found on it instead. And she was subsequently arrested for the murder. Murder. The way I said murder just now sounded like the Emperor when he says the word arrive. You know the quote. But Athena couldn't have done it. It just doesn't make any sense. No, none of it does. I've been racking my brain, but I just can't figure it out. Is that really how you spell racking? I thought it was with a W, but okay, maybe not. Ugh, where's the flaw in my reasoning? What if I get wrong in this case? You know, Daddy, if Athena was here, she wouldn't just be sitting around thinking. She'd be out there doing something. You are going to defend Athena, right, Daddy? Of course I will. And thanks, Trucy. I needed that little bit of Pokemon music to come gradually just cascading in. I use the word cascading too much. Trucy's right. The trial is tomorrow. There's no time to waste. If I'm going to prove Athena's innocence, I'd better get to investigating. Off we go, then. We're on a hunt for evidence that'll prove Athena's innocence. Great. But before we go, I better tidy up the evidence I have on hand. Wow, so yeah, we're just taking the evidence right into the next case. Oh, man. It's just like that other time. Athena's probably still in the middle of being questioned. So Trucy's right. The thing to start with is talking to people at the Space Center. Oh, ho, ho. Or talking to Trucy. Make sure we get everything here. I still can't believe Apollo really left us. It was so sudden. Maybe he got tired of being my ass for magic tricks? I don't think it's your fault, Trucy. But I made him clean the toilet a lot. And I made him go bring in the newspaper. It was my fault, I just know it. Oh, Apollo. I really don't think it was your fault, Trucy. I'm glad I didn't take that noise any further than it was about to go. But I didn't realize Apollo was wearing so many hats around here either. What? Okay. Oh, I guess it just means, like, roles to play, like, metaphorically. How could they suspect Athena? It's just ridiculous! It must be some kind of conspiracy. A conspiracy, huh? Well, it certainly is some kind of mistake, that's for sure. First of all, we have to bust Athena out of the detention center. Then we have to chase down the people who framed her. We'll sneak around the world from Kiev to California with the fuzz hot on our tails. Isn't that exactly the same as the plot of the movie you watched the other day? That might just be Kiev. I'm pretty sure I pronounced that wrong, though. Anyway. Look at this badge! Sorry. I guess presenting your attorney's badge is like your quick trick, huh, Daddy? Well, it's just a trick to you, huh? Well, you are one of the talents in our Write Anything agency, after all. But I have to say that an attorney's badge won't get many laughs. I don't care if I don't get laughs, as long as I can clear my client's name. Ha ha ha, that's a good one, Daddy. I'm no match for you, though, Trucy. I admit defeat. So we still have like 10 pieces of evidence here. Alright, so let's go straight to the entrance then. There's a hair on my 3DS. Alright, so where do we even begin with this? Well, who are we going to end up talking to? Ah, I figured as much. Director Cosmos, do you have a minute? For you, Brad? I've got 5. Galactic Scooter, full speed ahead! He's gonna run away, because... Director! He scooted away. They see me rolling my Segway. I may be innocent, but I won't answer questions. Think I just won't answer questions. Think I just won't answer... His expression changed the instant he saw you, Daddy. Yeah, well, I dragged his name through the mud pretty good at the trial earlier today. Man, oh man, it's like the same day and everything here. Oh, birds, I love birds. I love birds sometimes, but not always. Just if you're waking up in the morning and you want to go to sleep and they're jamming outside the window. Or you just want them to shut up, but they won't shut up. We were here only yesterday. Oh, hey! Hey, Finkel and Einhorn, how's it going? Mr. Starbuck, you've been released, huh? Looking as gusto as ever. Yep, and I came straight here. This is all thanks to you and your team, Mr. Wright. You've given me a second chance to fly into space again. I can't thank you enough. Except... Finkel and Einhorn. We're still doing this. I thought he'd be happy to be acquitted. As I was coming out of the detention center, I saw Miss Sykes. He saw Athena? I was at a loss for words. I didn't know what to say to the poor girl. And then, you know what? She flashed a peace sign at me. Congratulations on your acquittal, she said. Now you can go back into space someday. Oh my god, I didn't realize that his eyes were like actually open there. Oh, that's freaky. Yeah, that sounds like Athena. I can just picture it. But I saw her eyes. They were red and swollen from crying. She's gotta be suffering. She must be so worried. And she went out of her way to be nice and give me that big smile. Oh, what a sweetheart. She held back her own tears so she could give someone else a smile. That's so Athena. There's no question about it, that girl is innocent. Please, Mr. Wright, you have to make sure she goes free. And then they can put me in prison instead. I don't mind. We can't have that either, Mr. Starbuck. No! Don't Finkel and Einhorn me right now, Mr. Starbuck. I'm going to give her the very best defense I can. I promise to get her acquitted, just like I did for you. I know she'll be alright with you in her corner. I know you'll never give up on her. Apollo has a nice fine boss to look up to. That's right. So, can we talk? About that murder. I still can't believe Launchpad 1 was switched with the Space Museum. What could have made Director Cosmos do such a thing? I mean, it seems like he did it to help the killer get away, right? Because he wouldn't have turned it unless he had a reason to. Like, was he trying to do something else? I don't know. I haven't the foggiest idea. So there never was going to be a launch that day. Not from the very beginning. I wonder if Clay knew. I imagine he must have. Surely he would have noticed when you went to board the rocket. It's pathetic to think I was the only one who got taken in. Finkel and Einhorn. But I guess that's about how it goes when you're worth less than space debris. Space debris's not worthless. Sometimes it has points on Star Fox, you know? So you gonna be alright, Daddy? His expression looks as dark as a black hole. Well, that's just how he is. The murder. Mr. Starbuck, do you remember anything about the murder? Not really. I only saw a shadowy figure in the dark, after all. Yeah, I guess that was a little too much to hope for. Hey, I heard something from the police, though. They said they never did find a 10 caliber gun down that trash chute. Just as I thought. The culprit must have carried it away with them when they escaped. So was the person you saw holding a gun, Mr. Starbuck? I couldn't tell. It was so dark. Yeah. But it wasn't Athena, right? I mean, surely you would have seen that hair. Good lord. I can't even tell you that much. Man, I'm useless. When the culprit opened the door and some light came in, I should have been able to see. You said light came in from the door? Ah, yes. That door. As I recall, they opened this door here as they made their escape. Door to Launchpad 1, right? Well, this was... Yeah, except right now, the door leads to the Space Museum. You mean the Launchpad and the Space Museum are switched right now? Yeah, they're trying to investigate the theory you came up with in court. So they're recreating the conditions, huh? I'd like to see what's beyond that door now. Yeah, me too. Mr. Starbuck, could you open this door for us? Sure, just let me put my hand on the thing. It's not gonna work. Oh, it is, okay. Whew. It looked like it was about to not work. Sometimes, I don't know. Switching the launch pads. Did the launch pads get switched back and forth a lot? Well, back when the Space Museum was Launchpad 2, they used to switch the pads around at times. But these days, Launchpad 2 is only used as a tourist attraction, right? Right. Because quite frankly, the Space Center needs the money. I hear you. Times sure are tough. Daddy, let's go check out what's beyond the door. The door. Sure, let's go. Start repeating the last word of every sentence. Hey, why don't I come along? I can show you around. That sounds fine. The more the merrier. Oh, so we're inside. Oh, man. Oh, jeez. Who took the laxatives? Oh, God. Huh? I wonder what these dead leaves are doing here. Maybe they were stuck to the bottom of somebody's shoes. There are lots of trees around the Space Center. She's right, it's a modern state-of-the-art building, but it's surrounded by trees. But I don't know. If they were stuck to the bottom of somebody's shoes, wouldn't they look more crushed up? These don't look like they've been crushed at all. Huh. Maybe there's some kind of secret hatch in the corridor and they came in that way? Not everything is set up like a magician's stage, you know. Okay, well, that's very interesting. Okay, so then this side. This is another one of those devices for opening the door, huh? Yep, but this one doesn't require fingerprint verification. You just hit the button and open sesame. So when you and Clay went through here, you didn't need to show your prints either? That's right, Trucy. Just like how the culprit didn't need to scan their prints. And they escaped back out of the Space Museum corridor into boarding lounge 2. Oh, okay. So yeah, he moved him over. Yeah, okay. Okay, so this is Launchpad 1 door lock. The biometric door lock print authentication isn't required from the Launchpad side. 2 pages. I mean... Well, I don't see anything else that jumps out at me. And I imagine this corridor is built exactly like the Launchpad 1 corridor. Is it? Pretty much, I guess. Only the prints of Director Cosmos, Starbuck, and Terran are authorized, equipped with backup power. Okay, backup power, so we can stop talking about the whole power going out. Print recognition attempts are recorded by security camera. Starbuck's prints were found on the scanner screen after incident. Oh, have I shown you my badge lately? Here, look at this badge! Do you know anything about this piece of evidence? No, I don't know anything about your badge. Oh, here we go. Oh, there he is again. They see me rolling. Curse the wretch who sullied my good name. Reverse course and full speed away. Director Cosmos, wait! I didn't mean it. Are you still dizzy? I'll handle this, Daddy. Take that! Sorry about that scream. Trucy's knife throw was a direct hit to one of his tires. Holy crap! Maybe I should have kept a closer watch on what tricks she's been practicing. Oh my god. My dear old battleship, we fought many a skirmish together. It has been an honor. Daddy's gonna blow that thing up! Nah. I bet all that button will do is make it go haywire again. Aw. Very well, I surrender. As a prisoner of war, I expect to be treated honorably. Oh man. Scary ass. Okay. Switching the launch pads. What's the deal here? Director Cosmos, when you were talking in court about switching the launch pads, you used your right to remain silent about the reason as to why. That's right, he did. Director Cosmos to tell us why he switched the 2 launch pads to begin with. Please, I can't. I mean, my first thought is always something like, oh, they must have paid him off or something, but usually that doesn't seem to be the case at all. Maybe somebody's just holding something over his head that he can't talk about. The center of the cosmos is shrouded in mystery, but I don't have any secrets left. Now that my battleship has been destroyed and I've been taken prisoner... Wow, straight away with it this time, huh? No secrets left, huh? I beg to differ. Looks like I'll have to undo his psyche locks if I want to get to the bottom of this. Okay, let's do it. Switching the launch pad, let's do it. We want to know. Alright. Let's just at least see what he has to say first. I don't know if we'll have to go somewhere else to get something first. Because usually in the other games you had to, like, explore a lot to get what you needed for these, and in this one it seems like you always have what you need already, so maybe, I don't know. I want you to tell me everything you're hiding about the switching of the 2 launch pads. I refuse! You can't make me! I can hold out longer than anyone! Well, I bet you can't last against the tickle stick! Oh, I hope I never get like this when I'm old. Well, let's see, where to start. This is how you explained your motive for switching the launch pads. You did it! Okay, to fool the bomber, to prevent the bombing, to save the astronauts. To save their asses. To save the astronauts. Maybe he knew somebody was in there and tried to get rid of them. Thanks to you switching the launch pads, the astronauts escaped injury from the blast. Instead, they safely boarded the museum's rocket far away from the actual explosion. Oh, I see what you're saying, so he did it like... I thought he was talking about when he switched them after he went in the room. My astronauts were raring to go out and do an authentic adventure in space. How do you propose I had them board a fake rocket without them noticing? I agree, you couldn't have done it without help. For one, they would have figured it out the instant they stepped into the Space Museum. You figured you could fool Mr. Starbuck once he'd been drugged with his medication, but... without the help of this person, it would have been impossible to... So you're saying you got Clay to help him, then? You must have gotten Mr. Terran to help you. He stole the tranquilizers from his mentor's locker and slipped them to him. And then with Mr. Starbuck in a daze, they boarded the replica rocket in the museum. Oh my god. This will never stop being funny, him spinning around like this. It's so ridiculous. How's he able to spin around like that? Oh my god, and the look on his face and everything. If you really wanted to save the astronauts' lives, shouldn't you have just called off the launch? If I could have done that, you think I would have gone to all that trouble? I guess he must have had a compelling reason why he couldn't call it off. Somebody, oh my gosh. Holy crap. But how did you know? Okay, how did you know to switch the pads in advance of the bombing incident? Well, that's because I was warned in advance. I thought so. Once I received that warning, it was my duty to ensure my astronauts' safety. But it was just a warning. It could have even been a prank. Why did you believe in it so completely? Because I went to one of those mediums that everyone's talking about these days. Oh no! Well, it is now. Besides, I thought it was you yourself that got the warning by telephone. Yes, that's right. The bomber contacted me personally. My battleship is equipped with a special advanced communication system, you see. AKA a regular old telephone. A big one. It's been a while. Planning another launch? I see you haven't learned. I'll never forget the terror I felt when I received that call. The bomber said, "It's been a while." And that was enough to make you take the threat seriously? Perhaps Director Cosmos took the threat so seriously because he'd been through it before. Yeah, Maybe the culprit in the current case is the same person who was involved in this incident. Oh, the Hat 1 miracle. The Hat 1 miracle, that epic story of survival. People across the nation now know it now as a heroic tale of bravery. But in truth, it was an act of sabotage perpetrated by our current killer, wasn't it? Very few knew about the previous plot, so when the caller said it's been a while, you knew beyond the shadow of a doubt that danger was real, and it wasn't a prank. And wow. Number 2. Boy, that lock disappeared right at the exact same moment as I said wow. So, future self, you can use that to make sure things are synced here. Yes, the Hat 1 miracle was really a desperate battle against an act of sabotage. I even lost the life of one of my staff members in the fight. Sabotage? Murder? So this is the ugly truth behind the Hat 1 miracle. I let my guard down. I thought the saboteur had been caught, and that the case was closed. Wait a minute. You thought he had been caught. This must be the person Director Cosmos thought was the culprit. Are you talking about Blackwell here?
Take that!
This had to come up sooner or later. Simon Blackwell, the murder suspect in a case that happened here 7 years ago. The place and time of the two incidents, the murder and the sabotage, were the same. So you thought that he committed both crimes. But while Prosecutor Blackwell was behind bars, you got another threatening call. If the culprit this time is the same as 7 years ago, then it isn't Simon Blackwell. Realizing that, you were shaken. It meant the true culprit's been running free all this time. And Simon Blackwell's been in jail all this time. Get out of my head, you freak! Oh, jeez. Well, that was good. We done it. It's a little different than how you usually do it, though. So, now can we talk about this? The reason why Director Cosmos won't talk about why he switched the launch pads is connected to the truth behind the Hat 1 miracle. The sabotage and murder that happened at the Space Center 7 years ago. Director Cosmos, tell us what you're hiding. Please, man, please! If you really want to understand the reason I decided to switch the launch pads, you're gonna have to play Case 6. No, I'm just kidding. We'll have to start with the story of that horrible nightmare from 7 years ago. Ooh. Oh, wow. Here we go, guys. Oh, man, I'm ready. The launch went smoothly, but once the ship entered outer space, then the troubles began. It was all... I'm just gonna let the music play for a little bit here. It's funny you should bring up a leaf right now, huh? Oh. Pretty much. Well, I guess if we're talking about blowing up a rocket and stealing research material, it's not all that surprising that a spy could be behind it all. Yeesh. Oh, boy. Make no mistake, there is cutthroat rivalry between nations in the space R&D race. Some try to outdo others by any means possible, even deliberate obstruction. 7 years ago, we got a call before the launch warning us of sabotage. The same MO as this time. Yes, and here I thought the perpetrator had been caught, but it looks like I was wrong. Prosecutor Blackwell seems more like a ninja than a spy, don't you think? Aren't ninjas and spies basically the same thing? Not really. I don't know. But there's a good reason we failed to find the real spy. A massive cover-up by the government. Government officials were too embarrassed to admit that they had allowed such a thing to happen at the hands of a spy. Don't tell me they made the police rush the investigation. They did indeed. And then, to cover up the sabotage, they cleaned up the story. And that was the Hat 1 miracle, wasn't it? But then 7 years later, the same MO, advance warning of sabotage. That must have been the director's reason for switching the launch pads. Just like 7 years ago. Just like starting over. 7 years ago, the spy gave you advance warning of their plans, just like this time. That was what made you decide to switch the launch pads, wasn't it? That's right. The caller knew the facts of the case 7 years ago, despite the cover-up. They knew about the sabotage, the moon rock, the murder, and they said... I just got this awful feeling. Oof. They knew about the sabotage, the moon rock, the murder, and they said, you don't want things to go like they did 7 years ago, do you? I immediately thought of calling off the launch, but the government wouldn't let me. Those assholes! We don't give in to the likes of terrorists. We must proceed for our country's honor. It was quite a moving speech, actually. Moving? Really? Maybe if you're easily inspired by political talking points. But I knew the truth. We had been warned, which meant that the danger was very real. And I knew there was no way to stop the spy. No matter what I did, they would find a way. That's why I switched the launch pads and staged the moving rescue scene. Boy, I had a hiccup that came like halfway and then didn't come out. Ugh. First, I snuck into the center the night before and switched the launch pads. Also, more good music here. Alright, sure enough. Ah, okay. Oh, okay. Wow, that's some really funky-ass music. Clay's murder, huh? Or Clay's murder, huh? After the culprit made their escape, I switched to the launch pads back. I did it in such a way that no one would find out. But after all that effort, So he did switch him back afterwards, too. I was just wrong about which time we were talking about on that thing earlier. Terran is dead, and the hat, too, was destroyed. And the Hope capsule, which had returned to us only recently, was also lost in that blast. My home. It wasn't lost, actually, but does he know that? His face, oh my god. My home, the center of the cosmos, my beautiful Cosmos Space Center is done for! Wait, what did he mean by the Hope capsule was... I was gonna say, the Hope capsule is totally fine, dude. I thought that the Hope capsule was found at the crime scene with Mr. Terran. It's just been brought back by the Hope space probe with asteroid samples inside. Unless they took the samples out and put them in a different container. What kind of samples are they? What's in them? Oh, that's right. The capsule was being held in a safe in Launchpad 1, but I gave it to Terran before the incident so it wouldn't be destroyed in the explosion. The idea was that, with it safely in Terran's possession, he could make it look like he rescued it during the stage of miraculous escape. Okay. But our precious research materials ended up lost to that explosion anyway. But I thought Clay was supposed to keep it safe. Well, he didn't. No, you misunderstand. The Launchpad explosion wasn't the one the capsule was lost to. It was lost after the police confiscated it as evidence. Oh. Oh, jeez. Oh, man. It can't be, though. It couldn't have been destroyed. Maybe Apollo has it. I bet he does. Because he was there, and he was, like, looking around. Yet another casualty of that blast. It must be super important, or whatever it is. But, short of time travel, I can't imagine what we would do with it. Ultimately, I think the culprit may have known about the switching of the launch pads. What? How? The police found a wiretapping device during their investigation today. A bug aboard my battleship. A tap on my advanced communication system. A wire on that phone? Yes, a wire on this very phone. It's like meat on the bone, except bone the meat on. I used this phone to give instructions to my staff about Launchpad Switch. Just to the few select members who knew about the plan. Just before the incident, staff members were coming in and out of Launchpad 1. The culprit probably slipped in with them amid the confusion, and planted the bomb then. So the culprit knew everything that was going on here. Yes, if they were tapping your phone, they definitely could pull something like that off. Do you really think the same spy is behind this incident and the one 7 years ago? Yes, I'm sure of it. I got this awful feeling. Ugh. That Aura Blackwell might be the spy. And the spy must be the phantom Prosecutor Blackwell has been chasing. But it's his sister, though. I mean, maybe it's her this time, but it was somebody else last time. So I don't see why she would have done it last time, though. But I can see why she would do it this time, is the thing. But then, like, how would she know what to say there on the phone, you know, to say the thing that he was scared of? Well, anyway. Ooh. Yep, sure did. So we can find this phantom. That's right. We can finish the Forest Temple. Yes! And then there's the matter of Prosecutor Blackwell, too. What about him? Well, if the culprit of 7 years ago is the same person as in the current incident, it would mean Prosecutor Blackwell's innocent. That's still an if, though. Wonder how dangerous that guy would be in court without handcuffs. But if we're going on a ghost hunt, count me in. Just don't bring what's-his-face along, Yasuhiro. It's all over for me. Spin, spin, whirl, whirl, and done for. The center of the cosmos is doomed. Do you think he's gonna be alright, Daddy? Well, at least he'll be in good company. There must be planets out there he can spin with. Which reminds me, I'd like to delve a little deeper into the Hat 1 mission, too. If you want to learn more, start with the Space Museum. There's a Hat 1 exhibit there. What do I mean? I'll just keep spinning here and see how the cosmos unfolds. It's like he achieved spiritual enlightenment or something. I'm sure he'll stop when he gets dizzy. Let's go visit the Space Museum. So he's just gonna stand there and spin while the birds chirp. Oh, beautiful. Amazing, amazing indeed. Are we gonna talk to that robot again? Good lord. Try to maybe not be so annoying with a robot voice, though. Let's see, where's the exhibit on the launch 7 years ago? Right in front of us, baby. There, that's the Hat 1 exhibit. Oh wow, look at that photo of the team. So, okay, we still haven't seen the girl on the far right. Was she the one who got murdered? Because they said somebody got murdered. So if she's not the one, if she didn't get murdered, then she might be the spy too, though. So, on the other hand, Yuri Cosmos could still be the spy. Although I seriously doubt that. There's Clay and Mr. Starbuck, Director Cosmos, R. Blackwell, and even Ponko. Oh, down there. I didn't even see her there. But I've never seen the woman on the far right before. Everybody looks so happy. Well, except for Director Cosmos. Well, he's giving a thumbs up. You know, you can only smile so much beneath all that beard hair. Alright. Hat 1 launch imminent, and there's a photo of the Hope space probe. I guess it's only natural it doesn't talk about the murder or the sabotage. They really were keeping it a secret, just like the director said. Daddy, take a look at that jacket. Look at that jacket! Must be the Hat 1 team's uniform jacket. It's the same design as the one Apollo was wearing. The one that belonged to Clay. Actual jacket worn by a Hat 1 team member, it says. Not a replica, huh? I wonder if it was Mr. Starbuck's. Oh. It looks like there's kind of like a tear in it, or maybe that's just a pocket. Hello? Who could it be now? Oh, hi! Wow, you're like the last person I expected to see here. I thought it was me, the robot. I'm gonna go refill my drink. Give me a second. Oh, Miss Woods, what brings you here? I heard Athena got arrested, so I've been looking for you, Mr. Wright. I thought you might be here at the scene. You must be so worried, but rest assured, I'm gonna do my very best to defend her. Athena's going through such a hard time. I hope she doesn't lose heart. Even just coming back to this place must have been really difficult for her. Huh? You mean the Cosmos Space Center? Here we go. You didn't know? She used to live here. What? 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 Well, a triple what time here. She did? No, I didn't know. No wonder she knew so much. Yeah, she did know a lot. She knew a lot of people, too. Miss Woods, could you tell me more, in detail? I want to know the whole frickin' story here. Athena and the Space Center. Athena's mom worked here. If I remember right, she was a doctor of psychology, or something like that. But why was a psychology specialist working in a space research? Well, because space is very hard on the mental faculties. So Athena's mom was probably the lady in the picture then. Because if you look, do we have that picture in here? Her hair was like totally the same as Athena's was. Except, well, I mean, it was black, but it was like pulled off into that same sort of ponytail that goes down the side or whatever. But I do know she lived and worked here, so Athena lived here too. So it was far from Athena's first time here. Wonder why she didn't mention it. She probably didn't want to talk about it. This place is connected to a very sad memory for her. Sad memory, here we go. It's coming together. A sad memory? Can you tell me about it? There was a terrible incident here. It was 7 years ago. The other 7 years ago I wasn't thinking of was Apollo Justice, obviously. The same time frame as the Hat 1 launch, yep. Athena's mom, in the robotics lab. She was murdered. Yep. Oh, that's horrible. And Athena must have seen it. They keep showing her, like, surrounded by blood. God, it really is like Dexter. Dexter, I mean, like, Dexter, the TV show, not Dexter's Laboratory. That's what everybody always thinks I'm talking about that, but... After it happened, Athena stopped coming to school. Poor Athena. And all this time, she never let on at all. I was so worried about her. I came here so many times, hoping to see her. And just nothing, right? But I never saw her again. Wow, that explains a lot right there. Also, sorry for... Anytime there's a long silence, it's always awkward to jump back in, but hey. We used to play together here at the Space Center a lot. Brings back memories. This is like really sad, man. Sounds like Athena's mother played a big role here at the Space Center. Ooh, Daddy, show her that picture. Atta girl, good idea. Oh, hell yeah. Alright, let's see what we got here. Actually, I think I need to go back out this way. And then do it like this. Yeah, here we go. Ah, here it is. Its photo is in there. Miss Woods, could you take a look at this for me? Yeah, see how her hair is like... So you've got that same, like, diagonal... something. Oh, look, there's Stan's mom. The one on the far right. The one in the kimono. That's Dr. Metapsychs. Metapsychs. Metapsychic. This is so freaking meta. Athena's mother's murder. Did it by any chance have any connection to the Hat 1 launch? What? Well, yes, it did. Of course it did. As I recall, it happened on the day before the launch. Just as I suspected. But that wasn't the worst of it. One of my staff members was murdered. Yup, here we go. It's all coming together. So this is the murder director Cosmos was talking about. Does that mean that the crime Does that mean that the crime prosecutor Blackwell was convicted of is the murder of Athena's mother? There's a chance her death is somehow connected to the current case. There is. There might be. Thank you for all your help, Miss Woods. Please try not to worry. Won't let anything happen to Athena. Thank you, Mr. Wright. I know you'll take good care of her. Can we make out? So we need to investigate the robotics lab, and also talk to Athena. We got our plates full, Daddy. I hope we can fit it all in before the day is through. The detention center first, then. We have to see Athena before visiting hours are over. Let's run!